As government officials look at the impact of the ULEZ debacle on the local elections, it's not that surprising that Michael Gove, one of the most intelligent people, but also one of the slipperiest people in the current government, should say that we should be relaxing net zero measures. I think he's being a bit, well, of course he's being in disingenuous, but that goes with the territory of being a Conservative MP at this particular moment. But he's being a little bit over foolish and throwing the bathwater out with the baby, or is it the baby out with the bathwater? The by-election tells us that it's the methodology, not the object, which is the problem. So net zero as a target is a perfectly reasonable target. I don't think it in itself is a realistic target. It's a way to try to orchestrate a response to climate change. It's a specific solution, and maybe there's a better solution available. We should be doing perhaps little things rather than big projects in the future. The problem with setting forward any form of climate change agenda is that we have to think on something beyond the lifetime of the present government. And that's quite difficult, I think, for politicians to imagine. And if I were a politician at the present moment, the first thing that I would do is to scrap HS2 or put it on such hold that it doesn't function for the foreseeable future. HS2 seems to me to be an indulgence, particularly at a time when the railways are clearly collapsing. If we want HS2, then we need to do something about shoring up the railways in the first place. We're not doing that, so we shouldn't be investing in HS2. Very simple bit of logic. And that would save a huge amount of money. Then we need to work out if we're going to have an ULEZ scheme that was proposed by Boris, that is now put forward by Sadiq Khan, that is unpopular. It's unpopular. Why? Because there isn't an alternative. Because our public transport is in a mess. So if we want to have ULEZ, we need to have a better public transport system. Again, simple logic. And in terms of sorting out home insulation, we need to make sure that we have better building conditions, better planning conditions than we've got at the moment. That is vaguely being looked at, but only vaguely, and too late. We need to look at all these things. We can't, and actually, by the way, it's the same issue of putting the cart before the horse when it comes to migration. There's no point in setting forward some sort of harsh Rwanda-type scheme unless we've set out safe and legal routes, which we haven't done. What on earth we are trying to suggest with Suella Braverman's scheme? Well, we know what we're trying to suggest. We're trying to suggest that we're hostile and unpleasant. I don't think that's the British character. I don't think that's actually true, but that is certainly what she has talked her way into believing, talked herself into believing, and that is a sorry indictment on all of us. But it has set the way, it set the sort of standard for approaching these things. So we need to change all that.